Hello everyone, this is Sam from Cloud Tech World. Today we'll be looking at how to create a VPC subnet router built on the internet gateways. So let's check what is first VPC is. VPC is nothing but a virtual network dedicated to our AWS account. It is logically isolated from other virtual networks in the AWS cloud. So think of like VPCs like our hard disk and subnets are like different drives we are creating so that it will be helpful to visualize this thing. So let's jump into it how to create a VPC. So in order to create a VPC, just go to AWS console, click on VPC service, just type in the search box, type VPC, it will come. So on the left side you can see there is a tab called your VPC is there. Click on that. I mean, like in each region there will be default VPC. It will be there. It will be created on all the regions. They have default VPC, default subnet, and default route tables. Everything will be there by default. You can see the internet gateway is also there. So we are going to create a new VPC. So click on create VPC. First thing we are going to name the VPC. I'm just giving like my VPC. This cider block is we need to give what is the range we are choosing. For this demo purpose, I'm giving 10.0.0/24. So meaning of this is nothing but it can hold up to 2 power 8 addresses. Meaning it can have like a 256 addresses for this VPC. So how it is determined is the maximum that value for this is like 32. So since we are giving 24, just subtract that from that, we'll get 8. So we need to think it like it is 2 power 8. Suppose if we are creating a VPC with 10.0.0/28, this is nothing but meaning will be 32 minus 28, so it will be 2 power 4. So it goes on like this. This can have like 16. This 2 power 4 can have 16 IP addresses in for this VPC range. So when you are creating a VPC, make sure you are creating in a broader range so that it can hold maximum address. 256 address should be more than enough. Suppose if your environment is if you want to create more than that, you can give like /16. This can hold up to 2 power 16 IP, 2 power 16 IP addresses. It's a very huge range. It's like 256 cross 256 IP addresses. This will be huge in number. So we are going to create with 10.00/24. The next thing is we are not going to choose IPv6 address, which is not required for us. The tenancies can be default or dedicated. Usually we dedicated means like that host will be dedicated that what are the server that particular rack or in the data center will be dedicated for us, host will be dedicated for us, so we can leave as a default. Dedicated will come with the cost. We are not going to choose it. We can add a tag or we can just leave it. Then click create VPC. So it will be created immediately. You can see it. And this is the VPC details page. Here you can see. So this is the default VPC. This is the VPC we have created. Here you can see the IP4 CIDR ranges 10.0/24. Next thing is we are going to create a subnet. As I said, subnet is nothing but I mean like a logical separations within the VPC we have created. We have created a VPC like a 10.0/24. The subnet we are going to allocate, it should be coming within this range only. So for example, what is the meaning of this /24 here? This can begin with it can hold up to 255 address role. So this can start with 0.0/32. /32 is nothing but a single IP address. It can start with a single IP address. This is how the single IP address will be represented. It can begin with 0.0/32 and it will be ending at 255, meaning the next address it will be like this. So this is what the actual meaning of this 256 addresses. So the subnet we are going to create can be within this range. So within this range. So I can start with 0/28. So /28 nothing means thing like 38 to minus 28. So it will be 2 power 4. 2 power 4 is 16 IP address. So this is going to be my subnet of first one. The next subnet is so it can be like since we are the first 16 addresses already occupied with this subnet, we need to start from the 17th address. So since it's beginning with 0, it will be ending with 15. So here the next subnet can begin with 00/16. So this can also hold 16 IP address. So like this we can keep on go till until it can occupy 256 address. So if you want to what if you want to create more than 256 address means we need to create a VPC with more than 256 IP range. Then only we can able to allocate that and set the subnet. So let's jump onto subnet and see. So we need to choose the VPC which we are going to create a subnet. So I'm going to give here like subnet 1, subnet A we can give. Also the subnet is specific to availability zone. VPC is it can span across the region. It is I mean like it is confined to a region. Subnet will be confined to availability zone. So there will be, I mean, like the regions, this availability zones are depends on some regions will have 3 availability zones, some regions will have 3 availability zones. That is depend on how the AWS have allocated for them. So we can choose as our availability zone or we can leave as it is. So I'm going to choose US East 1A. Next thing is we need to give the range. So as we discussed earlier, so I'm going to choose this my first subnet range. We can create a tag or we can leave as it is. If you want to create one more subnet, again choose our VPC and availability zone. This time I am going to leave it blank to see how it is coming. Choose the next range. We can start with 16 or we can also start after 16, but it is better for better practice. We should always start in the sequence so that we'll also remember what are the IP address left for this VPC. So now we have created two VPCs. Here you can say subnet A, sorry, two subnets, subnet A and subnet B. So here you can see that subnet A Also, when I told like it can occupy 16 IP address for the subnets, even though we are allocating 16 IP address, the 5 IP address will be reserved for AWS. They are taking it themselves. So here you can see subnet A, it is has only this is the available IP4 address. It will leave us only we can allocate only 11 IP address within this range. The 5 IP address they will be reserving for AWS purpose. We cannot touch it. So next thing is we are going to create a route table. Now to create a route table, click create route table on the top right side. So by default, whenever you're creating a VPC, it's automatically creating a route table as well. So this is, I mean, like even though these route tables are confined to subnet, because suppose if you want to, the subnet A has to go to, suppose assume this is a public subnet and this is a private subnet. So this one you want to connect to internet means you can create a route table, separate route table, and we can route all the traffic to that route table A. Suppose if we have one more subnet which is private subnet and you don't want to allow this instance to connect to internet means we can create a separate route table for this private subnet and we can associate it. Each subnet can be assigned to only one route table, but one route table can be assigned to multiple subnets. Let's check this. We can create a route table. So here we created a route table. And here you can see that by default, so what is happening here is, I mean like whatever, I mean like there is okay, one more thing, main thing is, okay, we created a route table. Now we need to associate which subnet to be associated for this route table. So assume like our subnet is a public it is having a public EC2 instance. In that case, we need to associate our subnet A to this route table A. So we need to, if we don't assign subnets to this route table, what will happen is by default it will take a main route table. Here you can see this is the main route table which VPCs everything will be routed through there. Otherwise it won't, I mean like if you are not associating a subnet to this any specific route table, by default it will take the default VPC route tables. That is not a good thing. So we want our subnet A, which is a public subnet, assuming. So we want all the traffic to be routed through this route table means click subnet association and choose subnet A and save association. So now all the traffic here it will be automatically routed through this for the subnet A. We'll create one more route table for that subnet B. Click edit subnet association. Here you can see that, I mean like even though we not create any routes for this, what will usually happen is whenever we create a VPC, that entire address will be there in the route, meaning that anything, I mean like uh, whether it can be EC2 or any services which we are going to create within this range, they should be able to connect automatically, meaning that they can communicate internally automatically. We no need to specify anything. But if you want to talk to outside world, we need to have an internet gateway for that. Click on internet gateway. Click create internet gateway. I'm simply naming as my IGW. So now I mean, like, we need to attach it to the VPC. Okay, now let's go back to route table. As we discussed, this is route table A. We are assuming whatever the instances which we want to communicate to the outside world. For the purpose, what we need to do is we need to create a route for this is that I mean, like, a routable address to internet. So target should be IGW internet gateway, which we have created. So this is what the meaning. So now what happens is anything we are going to create inside subnet A, they will be automatically communicated to the outside world. For that subnet B, we have not specified anything, so they are not communicate to the outside world, which we are keeping locally to communicate only inside our VPC only. So we are not specifying anything. Suppose if we want to this also subnet subnet B also to communicate to outside world, means we can simply attach that same internet gateway also here if required. We are not going to not going to do it, just for demo purpose. I'm just telling this. That's it. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the video, subscribe it, and if you want anything else, please comment as well. Thank you.